shit. Dope boys know what it is. So I take my time to talk to him. You know? It's real shit. You hear that piano and shit playing? You know?
Majesty, you know what to do.
I'm just focusing on greatness. I watch the snakes gravitate, then they shapeshift. I've been walking on faith and it's all makeshift. The shit I'm spitting showing my age, but the flow's ageless. Jealousy is mixed with the hate, that's how they gauge shit. They got it motivating my pen, that's how I blaze shit. Britney got away with these words, and I don't waste shit. Success keep escaping a nigga, but I can taste it. My bars got them painting the pictures, I give them LASIK. It's hard for you to hate on a nigga, with God's graces. I'm trying to stay in step with my passion, it's large paces. Mama looking down from the heaven, your boy's patient. Just let the music be my therapist for therapy.
That's what I do, brother. 4 a.m. shit. Dope boys know what it is. So I take my time to talk to him. You know? It's real shit. You hear that piano and shit playing? You know?
Majesty, you know what to do.
I'm just focusing on greatness. I watch the snakes gravitate, then they shapeshift. I've been walking on faith and it's all makeshift. The shit I'm spitting showing my age, but the flow's ageless. Jealousy is mixed with the hate, that's how they gauge shit. They got it motivating my pen, that's how I blaze shit. Britney got away with these words, and I don't waste shit. Success keep escaping a nigga, but I can taste it. My bars got them painting the pictures, I give them LASIK. It's hard for you to hate on a nigga, with God's graces. I'm trying to stay in step with my passion, it's large paces. Mama looking down from the heaven, your boy's patient. Just let the music be my therapist for therapy. I like to play from the pocket, don't let them worry. Cause I can hit on the run if they try to hurry me. My specialty is spewing out lyrics that bring me currency. A nigga really came from the bottom, you can't discourage me. Grave diggers clutching their shovels, they wanna bury me. Cause this is real shit, sinners in the pulpit. Everybody judging a nigga like that ain't bullshit. Lyrically I'm loaded, my nigga, this is a full clip. They claim they want smoke with a smoker until them tools lit. Never deviate from your dreams, that's how you lose shit. Heavy is the head with the crown, nigga, I rule shit.
Tonight we'll be reviewing The Shy Season 7, Episode 4. Myself and Keisha is here tonight. Keisha, what's up?
Nothing much. How about you?
You know,
Where Wayne at? He on a mysterious dinner date?
I have no idea. But
No.
I will say this, very interesting last couple of days. Very interesting episode. And I will say I was looking forward to the episode. Everybody was talking about straw, so I didn't watch that, as you know why. Just not interested in that type of stuff right now. But this episode, for this episode to be titled Mother's Day leading up to Emmett having a Mother's Day dinner for basically his baby mothers and all the mothers in his life. I actually thought the episode was good. Um, Sometimes we look at episodes and we try to be like, oh, it's a whole bunch of plot twists, whole bunch of this and that. This episode was a reflective episode, and if you when you really look back at it, everybody was part of the episode. I thought it was really nice that Papa tried to be there for his mother. And then we see how they continue to make Papa look like he's weak and naive and dumb, which I particularly didn't like that aspect of it with Zeke and Charles trying to get him to take the money. All that money, he didn't ask for all that money. He wanted it alone. And Papa's not that naive. As soon as he'd have seen all that money, he'd have got him and be like, what y'all trying to play me out? We're past that with Papa.
I mean,
Uh,
Jake is his best friend. He was raised underage. That would have been an issue for him.
exactly. Papa's naive, but Papa no game. Definitely since his father, he's been so reflective on what the lessons that his father taught him. So you would expect Papa would have been able to peep it. But let's get to that Reg aspect because I know Dwayne really liked that. We have an appearance by Peaches, which is really good. You've seen the dynamic of Reg being a true middle child. You've seen the dynamic of Jake being happy that just he don't like Jake was probably so little he probably don't know the stuff that
Jake just
Reg
happy to
and
be here. He just happy. He got his mother and his brothers.
yeah,
That's all he knew. He just happy.
yeah. So he could care less about what how anybody feel. He just want that whole. He got his brothers, his mother. He happy. He's good. So, but it did strike up a very interesting dynamic of the abandonment issues and the issues that even she calls him Trig that Vic has with their mother. And it speaks a lot too of what a lot of people, what a lot of older or any child goes through when their mother or father is fighting their own personal battles with addiction. And
I think
his
that we're not honest when with the older children. Like I know in my family, it's me and my sister are 13 years apart. Me and my brother are 10 years apart. It's some aspects of my parents that they saw when they were teenagers and very young adults that I may not have seen when my mother was 28 when she had me and my father was in his early 30s. Like my sister grew up with our parents and a lot
yeah,
of things were put on her.
yeah.
So how she views them and views life and different things. And then, by the time I came along, they was doing good.
Even in that aspect, you even heard Vic like because he was the oldest, he basically said he he felt as though he had to put his life on hold to make sure that they were okay. So I
Yeah.
thought that was
So he
interesting,
took
and
the role of a parent.
I personally believe that aspect of it. If Lena decides to go there, don't just give it this one episode. Go there, and they got their men's group. Go there, and he needs to talk to other men and be like, look, I realize having my mother there, how it triggers a lot of old abandonment issues that I'm facing. Like
I
I
mean,
don't,
he
I want my
said
mother to do
it, but
well.
I think
Yeah,
his trigger is he doesn't want his siblings to, he's such the protector. He doesn't want his siblings to go through.
yeah, get their
Excuse
hopes
me.
up too high.
Right.
What's up,
What he
Mr.
went through.
Dwayne?
What's going on?
How you doing, sir?
Doing fine.
Long day at work today, my brother.
Well, thank God, my brother.
Yeah, yeah. I felt sleep.
So
Yeah,
can I go first?
Yes.
yeah, absolutely.
Because I had some issues. I didn't dislike the episode, but I did not like Emmett and that baby mother's interaction. I think that perpetuating this nonsense that because a man doesn't marry you and you decide to have a baby, he has no, and you want him to pay child support, he has no decision making when it comes to that child.
Mm.
I think it's dangerous and false. So Emmett went out of his way to, he was trying to honor all his baby mothers, not just Keisha, not just Tiff. This rationale is the only baby that matters that he has a say on is EJ because him and Tiff was married. That is so dangerous. That is not a good narrative to be pushing out. And so for her to say, well, you could get him in the summer, or for her to not even have the conversation with him, I had a problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a person that continually says, in some ways, I was so happy that my son father, for whatever reason, couldn't be there because I got to make all the decisions. So I understand that, but lawfully, I was able to make all the decisions. I wasn't getting no child. I wasn't getting no other input. These women are getting other input. You were just bigging up Keisha for creating a curriculum because it appears most of the children are on the spectrum. So how did you just make up in your mind that you're going to move and not have the conversation and then be mad because he questioned it? Like, well, you moved on. I just don't think that's healthy. And I think that
I'm gonna second your notion, Keisha, and I think one of the biggest things and I had been saying it for a few years now when we used to do the poetry show on the channel, and I used to always ask the poets, does art create life? Does art imitate life? Right? And the bottom line is sometimes we have to understand that art, whether you're a singer, writer, author, movies, art actually dictates reality in some aspect. And what I mean by this is when you continue to perpetrate these narratives, these narratives with co-parenting, always having a negative aspect of how two people could not be together co-parenting, that people begin to take on this. And I believe that, and I can speak for us three, that one of the two things that we're tired of that we are tired of the back and forth between men and women, and we're tired of being forced not to accept people that are LGBTQ, but that we're seeing it too much. We respect everybody's belief, opinion, how they choose to live their life, but sometimes the narratives are always forced on us. And once again, when you see Emmett and his character trajectory, that type of situation, Keisha, probably would have went on 4 or 5 seasons ago. For it to be going on now and Emmett to have his quote unquote shit together is kind of strange. His reaction was a natural reaction, even though it was a little strange, but like he's become a good father. And it's just amazing that every once in a while, Lena or any artist, they'll dip back into that same peripheral, easy narrative that
well,
everything has to be combative.
my what my position is. The only good man was a gay woman.
Mm.
So now outside of that, I liked the Peaches coming back. I was looking for that. I liked the dynamic of Reg poking at his big brother and then knowing when to shut the hell up when Trig got serious.
Yeah.
I like that. I like them trying to teach, I can never think of what his name is, trying to teach him how to play spades. He's a little awkward, but he got it. Um, the Christian,
He had his books in between his fingers.
but he's the numbers guy. So if you're a numbers
Yeah,
guy, counting
yeah,
cards, you can figure that out.
yeah.
I didn't like that they made, what's Kadeem Hardison's name? That they made Christian, him
That
and the
that
judge.
that blew me away, y'all.
I didn't really
That
like
messed me up.
that.
Yeah.
I mean, because now I'm not the biggest Keisha fan, but it almost implied that it was her fault he committed suicide. I didn't like that.
I mean, the judge knew who Keisha was, but Keisha didn't know who the judge was. Where did they get that from?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I'm very close with my son, and he shows me pictures of people he date, but just very weird. Alicia want to kill the criminal, want to kill the people
Kill
who
the killers.
that was
She
all
said,
weird.
she said, let's kill the killers. And the judge looked at us like, huh?
Yeah, right. Like that was weird to me. So, but I mean, overall, I like the episode. Overall, I like the episode. I like Emmett and the environment with his family.
Yeah,
Nook
Wayne, I
trying
know
to
you
kiss
chopping at
Tiff
the bit.
was
You know,
weirdo.
you know what's funny? I got it. It's actually on, right, you guys? And
Hmm.
I just forgot before Nook even explained to Tiff, Nook had went to the gravesite.
Yeah, to see his
And
mother.
and to me, I thought that was interesting because I thought his mother was somebody else. I didn't know his mother was dead. But like I think they're trying to show a different side of Nook. So it's gonna be interesting what they choose to go forward, where they're going. Mr. Dwayne, you look rather nice today. You look
Yeah,
rather
a little saucy. Um,
yeah.
yeah, I didn't like the episode at all.
Hmm.
I thought it was one of those throwaway episodes. My favorite scene, I have a favorite scene, was, the Taylor brothers together. And when Peaches came in there and Vic being Vic, I thought that was authentic. I did like that part about it. Um, at this point, Papa shouldn't be this naive. Like with everything that he's seen and been through already. Like, why y'all still got him so naive? Like he can't see what Pastor Zeke and Charles is up to. And that they was gonna want his father's church. And I hated, absolutely hated, that Pastor Charles was going around all these women houses, getting
Oh, I
no,
didn't like that either.
And
getting
then
no
and then
man.
and then ended up at Tracy house and she in the middle of those two. Like they
Right.
her men. Like she wasn't messing with Charles. He just prayed for her and he didn't even know her name the last time we seen
But
him.
why they got Tracy so desperate?
I don't, I don't know why they got her so
But
desperate.
why they got Keith talking about, I want to make a life with you.
Yeah, Keith,
Like you
Keith,
He
you
working
working
in
smoke,
chicken shack
you
for
working
Emmett.
smokers, you done got some tud, now you done went crazy.
and then I didn't like Alicia's reaction when Rashad told her that he loved her.
Oh, she looked at him like, oh no, honey. Oh no. You know what's funny? And I know that Jason Weaver and Lynn Whitfield behind the scenes, for anybody that don't know, are doing an excellent job playing up to the Simba Brandy stuff from their previous roles on shows. Dwayne, if you go back and look at that scene, she gave him the Brandy look. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you sure you love me? Like, you sure you want to say that? And she plays it well. Like I said, go ahead, Dwayne, finish. I just thought about it when
Well,
you
no,
brought it
no.
up.
I mean, I'm with Keisha on the fact that I don't like all of a sudden the professor's son was Christian. Like, that's, I don't know how I feel about that one.
Yeah, that introducing them as his parents, it's like the way that y'all had him come on was like he's this nice kid that was really into Keisha, and then it's just abruptly she didn't want to deal with him. We were kind of, I remember when we did the review show about him leaving, like, damn, why they even introduce him? But now for them to double back, it's like, and then we basically know that he took his own life. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
So
like for
yeah,
what?
I wasn't that big of a fan of the episode. Um, I agree with Keisha again. I didn't like the interaction between Emmett and the first baby mama because she leaving. And it's like he like, well, what I'm gonna do about my son? And it don't seem like he be getting these kids all the time
Yeah,
and having that reaction. Like,
yeah,
but I get it. He do got rights. We have seen in this life where like I had a situation at work where one of my homegirls was deciding that she wanted to move to Georgia. And judge was like, he got rights. Can't just go and take his kid to Georgia. Like, I don't know if it's that easy. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Well. One of the things, and I know that even speaking on that issue, man, is that we gotta, and I'm not saying that other communities, other ethnicities don't go through these type of problems, because you really see it when you're dealing with the our white counterparts. You see it get really nasty in those divorce and child support and custody cases. It get really nasty. But when we speak about our community, we only know our community. We're intimate with our community. At some point, we got to get to a point where we got to understand how to co-parent correctively. But I want to show y'all something. We have a character development thing, and I want to show both of y'all something and see what your thoughts is. Dwayne, I told you about it, and I'm quite sure you might have seen it, but I'm gonna show it to Keisha. Fair use.
Okay.
Often told in a one-sided portrayal. What is it like for you to have audiences embrace it like this? The season 7 premiere was the most streamed ever. You guys just got renewed for next season.
Yeah. I mean, it's really a blessing. I mean, you can't make a TV show without a loyal audience, as you know very well. And you also want to create characters that people fall in love with, that they can relate to. And being, a daughter of Chicago, we understand the responsibility of making sure people know that Chicago is a community. It may be a city, but it is a community of people. And we want to show that bond that these people have. And we love that the Shy family, as we call them, we don't call them fans, they're the Shy family. They have bonded with these characters, and they bonded with us. And we're super excited for them to meet Mr. Rashad's character coming up later on the season.
You're a legend. I mean, I'm just going to come right out and say it. You are a legend. You've won every acting award that we can imagine. What was it like for you to join this ensemble cast?
Oh, this was so much fun. This was so much fun. Working with actors, one of whom I knew.
Yes.
Only
that?
one.
She knew Daniel Watts.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
Yeah, I've known him for years.
Yes.
But he was the only one whom I knew.
Yeah.
And everybody is so bright and so warm and so welcoming. We had fun at that dinner table.
Yeah, there's a dinner table scene coming up talking about the relationships between black men dating white women. So stay tuned for that. It'll be an explosive conversation.
Well, no, talk a little bit more about that, right? Because you've said that when you were writing this character for Miss Rashad, Renee, you wanted to bring a new generation's perspective on interracial dating.
Yeah, and initially I was trying to look for an excuse to put her and Kadeem Hardison in the same scene, but then I was going to make her a dean, but I kind of heard through the grapevine, Miss Rashad was like, well, I don't know she'd be talking this real, she's the dean. So I was just like, okay. So we wanted to, but then we made her a retired woman who was coming to kind of stay with her family, and I'm a person who grew up in the same house with my grandmother, doing a 3-generation house. And having that experience, I could hear my grandmother's perspective on things, hearing that would change from my mother's perspective on things. And as I got older, being a child who was born in the 80s, my perspective was really different. And so I kind of found that even though we all speak in English, we kind of were speaking very different languages. And it took me a while to understand the reason why I sometimes would bump heads with my grandmother and bump heads with my mother, and they would bump heads with me, is because we really encountered 3 different countries. And
Before I finish it, what's your thoughts, Dwayne, on the insight that Lena just gave on the character and the dating, the interracial dating? Do you think?
I don't really think in 2025 that it has to be addressed. But that's just me. Like I'm a little surprised by this interview because we haven't even been introduced to the character yet, but they got her on the show talking about the character. What about people that have been on the Shy since the beginning? Like, how you don't have Jacob Lattimore there? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Been in every episode.
Yeah.
So I don't think you need her. I mean, yeah, she's a great actress. and she's going to bring something to the series. But I think it's odd that you're bringing her on this show before she's even made an appearance in the series.
Yeah, and even part of the clip, I'm gonna show they actually have a scene to the upcoming episode, and it's not even next week's episode. Next week's episode, I don't know if y'all seen it. Detective Toussaint will be back,
Yeah.
and it's interesting. But I'm gonna play the rest of it. Keisha, you got any thoughts on it? Oh, she stepped away for a second, but I'm gonna finish playing it.
3 different worlds. And, we would bicker and fight at the table, but we always kind of found a common ground at the end of the day.
Mr. Shaw, tell us a bit about that first day on set. I mean, I wonder if, maybe
Lena, you had a little chuckle there.
Well, everybody also worshipped her.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I wanted to. Yeah.
Table read, everybody was like,
all timid. Were people like timid and shy? Like,
They didn't act like that. If they felt that way, they didn't act like that, which I really appreciate. Because it's just wonderful to be part of the ensemble. I like to work that way. And that's how I felt. I felt like I'd been there all the time.
It did feel like she had been with us the whole run.
Yeah. We got to touch on a place you have not been all the time. That is in a director's role on Broadway. You've made your debut as a director with purpose.
Well, not thank you, but
So I think that's very interesting that they decided to put her, like you said, Dwayne, having her go on a CBS interview about The Chi, and we haven't even been introduced to her character yet. I thought that was really, really interesting and strange, but I'm not even going to play the clip because I don't want to get clipped. But like I said, Dwayne, before you joined, I think the doubling back of Papa's naive character, like, we're past that with Papa. As soon as he would have seen all that money, he would have said something. Keisha, I had asked before you stepped away. I know you're in the middle of doing something, and we appreciate you, and the audience appreciates that you're even able to do the show while you're in the middle of doing what you're doing. But I don't know if you got a chance to look at the clip, but Felicia Rashad is actually going to play Zeke's ex-girlfriend's mother, and the daughters. I don't know if I forget who the daughter is, but the daughter's going to be it. So I'm trying to understand
that whole church thing. I don't like it. I don't like the whole church thing. I don't know why it's not resonating with me. Rodamy, whatever his name is, him
Pastor
hunching
Charles.
over. None of it.
Pastor Charles. His
Listen,
name is Pastor Charles.
none of it is resonating with me. I don't like Papa's mama because she needs to be having a conversation with her child, not talking at him. Because he's not dumb or not. He's not completely dumb or naive, and that's what I think that I don't like about the Papa's character. He grew up in the church, so he know the church politics. He know the church dynamic. He's a preacher's kid.
Right.
But he also is best friends with Jake. So if anyone who watched the beginning episodes of The Chi and how Jake was with Reg and how Reg was with Jake and his friends, it's ridiculous to believe that Papa is this naive and not seeing the play that's before him.
And even Papa back then had a slick ass mouth.
Always.
And even know that how he used to go at his father, when him and his father came to their crossroads, and how he felt with grieving his father. Even he knows, like, okay, Pastor Zeke ain't perfect, but he's a minister. But to offer him all that money, I just think Papa would have got up. The old Papa would have got up and was like, what y'all trying to buy me? Definitely the way Charles came in, it's like more of, you're going to take this money, and this is
First of
down
all,
payment.
he's not that naive. I'm also upset that Reg ain't Papa yet. Jake ain't told his homies that Reg ain't dead.
And that's the scene for next week's episode. Is Detective Toussaint says, I heard that Reggie Taylor is alive and he's back in town. and it's basically a picture of Reg in a ski mask because he fitted the description for the crime. So I think that even with that, like, the way they just abruptly just removed Detective Toussaint and now bring her back around, like she would have been on, Curtis Cook. She would have been on Duda. She would have been on him, Mr. Otis Perry.
She would have been on all of them because they was beating up her son in jail.
Yes, and she would have been around when Victor was going through his stuff. So I'm not going to nitpick on the episode and say like it's kind of crazy how they doing it, but it is kind of strange how they trying to just bring certain characters back, and it's like, okay, here, y'all deal with it. But Dwayne, I do got a special for you, something nice for you. You saw it. This is exclusively for Dwayne.
I usually don't mess with kids like that, but I don't need to see no more EJ. Boy, bumping into the table, barely know how to talk. Like, they really doing that little boy like that, man.
EJ was bumping into stuff.
Yeah, knock the water over and stuff, and the tiff gets on him. But the thing that bothers me the most, like really bothers me, is this whole Nook and Tiff thing. Like, brother,
it bothers me too.
You killed her baby's daddy, and now you trying to lead in for kiss.
It makes you think, and we don't do conspiracy theories and all that when you're talking about shows, but it makes you think that they never wanted to kill Amon Shumpert after show. Because, like, why would you go? Like, let's just think about it. He tried
I know Lena friends with his ex-wife. That's all I'm gonna put out for you.
He killed him, right, Keisha? He killed him, and now he's trying to kiss her. She basically said she's feeling him enough to the point where she don't mind him being around. She's pregnant. She just said, I can't, not right now. And let's just think about the dynamic. They both got kids by someone else that are together. Like, come on, like, we messy. We're messy in the black community, like any other community. But we ain't that messy. Like, we ain't doing that. Like
Black Brady Bunch.
Yeah, legitimately.
Okay. So Tiff was so mad when Emmett started messing with Keisha because she said, that's my only friend. I don't think she would do that. I mean, I just don't. Without you, the conversation has to be had first.
I think to an aspect that Tiff would probably be feeling lonely, but it would not be with Nook. It should have been towards Victor, somebody else that was trying to holler at it. It definitely, or they could always bring Dante back. It just wouldn't have been towards Nook. She knows that if Nook killed Duda, Nook would have no problem killing Rob. Like, all of a sudden, they threw it on Zay that Zay killed Rob, and everybody's supposed to believe that? That's his cousin.
Yeah, I'm struggling also a little bit off the path. I'm struggling with the age of these characters, right? Because I look at I look at Nook, and he went to the cemetery. His mother's birth date was 1975, which means she was 50. Like, so
these are kids.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So how old is Emmett and Keisha and them? Is they like 21, 22 years old?
Yeah. Well, you remember Darnell and them had their class reunion. Remember when they had their class reunion, Darnell
and them like our age too.
Younger. That's why the Darnell with the earpiece is not realistic. Because I ain't walking around with no earpiece.
I'm going to upgrade it to some earpods or earbuds by now.
Yeah, like,
he's not going to walk around with that same old,
He's younger than 50 because when they did the class reunion or whatever, wasn't it like class of 1996 or something like that?
They're younger than us.
there's a scene. There's a scene, not just one scene, but
They
it was
might even been 98.
it
It
was
may
three,
have been. You're right.
it was three scenes, right? That I saw, and it's the same scene, but it's three different takes, right? That I saw, and the characters in this scene confused me. The players of the spade game, the professor with Brandon's cousin, who's the weed dealer, will sell mushrooms now, with Keith and Emmett's brother. It just seemed odd. Like, how do these people even, from what we know, these people shouldn't even know each other. Now, we understand how the Shy does with community. Everybody knows everybody, but still, Keith just jumped on the scene as, the co-defendant to Emmett's brother. He starts working at Smokies. Now Brandon's cousin is back, and they're in there playing cards, getting high in front of the professor, but he's mentoring Bakari. I just thought that spade thing, you know how they say with throwaway shows, throwaway scenes where they just wanted us to see the boy learn how to play spades. I just ain't understand the characters from that whole hand and what they had going on. But
Did the Taylors eat more than mac and cheese? Was there anything else on the table?
yeah, and he said, "Don't make it good. Don't throwing a little bit of paprika on top. Don't make it good." He killed him. He went in. I think
Their
that's all he
kids
probably
be the
had.
worst.
They do.
But the funniest thing about that, right, Dwayne,
Mm-hmm.
is so this is the same dude that want to he want to take back over Chicago, but his mother done got clean and he brought his mother around his brothers. It's just weird, because we follow the story as it comes, and
Yeah, but he ain't got Trig ain't got his penis no more, so you can't look for him to be rational.
boy, yeah, it's definitely one of them nights.
And drinking.
But yes. But anyway, y'all know halfway through the show or damn near towards the end of the show, what we do is we rate the show 1 through 10, 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest. And I'm gonna just jump right out the gate and ask Dwayne, what's your rating? Because I know you hated the episode, Dwayne.
4.5.
4.5?
Trash. I was gonna go with a 2, but I don't want to overreact.
Feature?
I'm going with a 6.
It's rather high on your end.
She liked it though. She told us all the reasons, and I get it.
I mean, I like part of that. The things I liked, I like. What I didn't like, I didn't like.
Yeah, well, I gave it a 4.5 because I'm telling you, like, I really like the scenes with the Taylors. Like, it may just be me, but Reg was so likable to me in this episode, man. Like, the way he interacted with him and, telling Vic, like, yo, man, cut that out, man. It's our mother. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
And, Trig was like, well, he always was the favorite. You know what I mean? To see Reg laugh and smile because he was really feeling that. You know what I mean? And, me with having 4 siblings, it's like, we used to have interactions like that. My mother had like when we was trying to say who her favorites was, but you have that type of banter with your siblings. So I like that, man. And again, when you talk about innocence, right? Jake, another one that has seen a lot. But I think the Michael Epps kid, like as an actor, I think he's grown so much since from when he was little. His legit reaction when he saw his mother come through that door was one of the reasons why I gave it a 4.5.
Yeah.
Do y'all think that Jake is progressing and Papa is going backwards?
I do agree with you. Yes.
And
I mean,
that's what
from an
makes me
actor standpoint.
well, I think the role has regressed for Papa. I think even with the Jake thing, at this point, the Jake that we know would have told Reg from last week's episode, I'm not doing that. I'm not in the street. That ain't what I do. Yeah, you my brother, but I'm not doing that. The old Jake did exactly what he did, just kick back and let his big brother be his big brother. This is what they did with Papa. This is why we see that the way that Papa approached Zeke and Charles, that would not have been Papa. Not the way Papa grown.
Mhm.
No, no. And when he started kicking up to his father, Papa wasn't scared of nobody no more. So it's gonna be interesting what they do and how they decide to do that. I'm gonna give it a 4. I didn't have a really, and I only given it a 4 because it didn't lack nothing. It didn't have that. I thought it was strange. I thought the whole Tracy thing was weird. I didn't even get
I
that.
thought the Tracy thing was weird too.
Yeah,
Because clearly she's screwing the chef.
Yeah. That's just it.
yeah.
All right. I think don't beat a dead horse, right? We already know Dom was basically a lady of the night. So, and why you keep having those scenes where he was like, "Yeah, I'm about to get married," and they was like, "To Dom?"
I think personally that's a little cheap. I
Yeah,
think like at the end of the day, like yeah, she was with the son and the father. Okay, like let's move on. Like
that's
let's
my.
be honest. Look how many people Jada was about to mess with Ronnie. Tracy done dealt with 2 or 3 guys on the show. Like
Keisha done gave it up.
yeah, Keisha was fast messing with the track coach.
Yeah.
Like it's it. Like Emmett done mess with a bunch of women on the show. Like come on, like it ain't that serious.
And it's like,
And
Emmett, like, yeah, man, well, I only had one night with her. The father was like, well, yeah, I had several nights. And Emmett
yeah,
looked at him like several. Like, you know what I mean? But when they make this dude the Vince Mensa character, when they make him common,
so went to church.
when they make him common, like he remind me of Common a
He
little
had to go through the program.
bit.
Yeah. But I think they didn't know what to do with him. I still don't think they really know what to do with his thing. They just need, in order to
So
have Lene there, they had to write him back into the scene.
right, so you went down the
But
road,
why
right?
do we need Lene?
We don't. They
Oh,
they
yeah.
should have let her leave with Maisha and Gemma and Brittany. Lene really don't got no purpose right now. I would have thought by now Bakari would have been at least trying to talk to her.
Yeah, they ain't even
Uh,
had that conversation since he chose the street that day.
oh, and speaking of that, and I could be long jumping, but I'm gonna ask y'all. Maybe let me see how I want to say this. Right, the professor goes to Bakari. You remind me of somebody. How does Bakari remind him of Christian?
In no ways whatsoever. Or they were just
No
alike.
way, no how. Unless
Okay,
we didn't know Christian.
okay. Now I said maybe he took a liking to him and like, all right, I don't have my son. So, but their lifestyle is totally different.
Yeah.
So what's next? When is Bakari and Jake gonna have a conversation that they need to have? And they've had an on again, off again relationship. They'd have fought. Jake thought he was the reason that he lost his baby. And so now Reg is gonna force Jake to be down with him. That I'm gonna be honest with y'all, and I know we a little bit over what we normally do, and I can't believe I'm giving this much attention to this trash ass episode. But one of the things that I'm looking forward to again is this Taylor brother dynamic. When is Trig and Red? Because they got them, it was rough. Now they sitting there laughing around, playing video games, eating with their mama. But Vic, if you notice in that scene with Peaches, he feels like he's the ultimate protector of Jake. And to me, Reg is not a protector of Jake. Red's too busy trying to put Jake into the mob. And I don't like that, man. And so when is that confrontation going to come to the head? And I'm telling you, I don't look ahead at scenes or nothing like that. I think Red's going to wind up killing Vic, man.
I do think something's going to happen to Vic, but the reality is Reg raised Jake, not Vic.
True.
So I don't, when Vic says it, it bothers me. Because I guess he went to jail, but you left your little brothers. You
About to make
only
you,
came back because Reg wasn't there.
I'm about to make you laugh. Vic been in more seasons than Reg.
I
Yeah.
believe it.
When you think about it, it don't seem like it, but he has. He's been in more seasons than Reg.
Because when did
Um,
they kill Reg? The beginning of season 3 or was it season 2?
season 3.
He ain't even make it to season 3.
Yeah.
He
So
only did season 1 and season 2.
yeah. So, but I'm like Dwayne and you, Keisha. Something's going to happen in that dynamic. Hopefully, Luke James don't leave because I think Luke James is a good enough actor where if it's still excuse the expression, definitely what I'm talking about his character, it's enough meat on the bone, meat on the bone. But I think it's still some there left for him. I'm just trying to understand the dynamic of where they're going because, like we said in the previous 3 shows, they wrapped up a lot of storylines. What is this season has been nostalgic. It's been that baby shower down to Mother's Day. Now let's talk. Let's get into the season now. Now it's time to move season 7 has to take an identity of its own and be like, what was season 7 about?
Well, I think they're going to bring back an element that Keisha's been after for a while. We're bringing the officers back into the series. Like the officers was a big part of this series. So I'm kind of glad they're bringing Toussaint back, you know. Look like we may have lost Keisha.
Coming back.
Mm.
Yeah. Hey, Dwayne, I'm glad you said that because Detective Toussaint was a likable character in the show.
Mm.
She was really likable. She had, like she said, she had the dynamic with her son.
So, and again, I hope y'all.
DeMarcus, what's good, bro? Dwayne, you dropped. DeMarcus gave it an 8. Keisha, you on mute, Keisha, so we can't hear you.
I gave my rating. I said a 6.
I know you gave your rating, but you had dropped and then you went on mute.
Oh yeah, I'm here.
DeMarcus, you gave it an 8. 8 is high. You must have really liked this episode. I mean, we basically we don't really do a long review show, but we basically just talked about the episode. Keisha, Dwayne dropped for a second. Is there anything else about the episode that you want to discuss? Excuse me. But yeah, you muted yourself, Keisha. But DeMarcus, what about the episode that you liked that you felt as though it was a solid 8? What was the main portion of the episode that you liked? Go ahead, Keisha. You ain't muted no more.
What was the main portion of the episode that I liked?
I was asking DeMarcus that because he just joined.
Oh.
But I was asking you what what do you expect come going forward?
Going forward, I guess we're going to get into the meat of it. The Tiff is not naive. Tiff is very street smart. She's more street smart than Emmett. So I would imagine that she's going to get some vibes from Nook. I don't know. So that's what I'm looking forward to. How long is this going to go on? Is this guilt Nook is feeling? I guess this church dynamic is going to be another thing. I really don't want to see that, but you know, whatever. They're going to serve Tracy up. She's been served up the whole time. So,
Dwayne, you there?
Dwayne disappeared? Yeah, he gone.
Yeah, his mic, his camera keeps shutting off. Because 9 out of 10 somebody calling him.
Oh,
But anyway,
yeah, so I'm just looking forward to the future. I mean, I didn't absolutely hate the episode, but there was things that it didn't really jive with me. So, but I'm looking forward to see they haven't pissed me off like the Shy usually does.
yeah. We'll see. I mean, I'm looking forward to next week's episode. Like I said, I didn't like or dislike the episode. It was more like, oh, okay. But now, like I said, when you had muted yourself, Keisha, now it's time for them to move forward in the season. We done got all the wrap ups of season 6. All the storylines is season 6 is gone. Now it's time to get really into the meat and potatoes of what season 7 is about, and really discuss season 7. With that, DeMarcus, we're gonna shut it down. I know you just joined us. Yeah, we talked about the professor and the judge, so being Christian's parents. So that's gonna be an interesting dynamic in where they choose to go, whether they feel as though Keisha was the reason that their son killed himself. But until next time, see y'all, take care, and remember the best way to support the channel is to like, share, subscribe. Good night.
Majesty, you know what to do.
I'm just focusing on greatness. I watch the snakes gravitate, then they shapeshift. I've been walking on faith and it's all makeshift. The shit I'm spitting showing my age, but the flow's ageless. Jealousy is mixed with the hate, that's how they gauge shit. They got it motivating my pen, that's how I blaze shit. Brittany got away with these words, and I don't waste shit. Success keep escaping a nigga, but I can taste it. My bars got them painting the pictures, I give them